Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to MLópez Bath Body Creations. I am Marlene López, your maker. Now, I'm trying something a little bit different today, so what I did was go ahead and shoot the video, and I thought I'd do a voiceover, see how well I did with this one, since my voice is usually pretty low when I'm doing the actual recording. You also may notice that I'm wearing the same shirt from the last video, and that's because I decided to keep going instead of going to bed. And walked into my room, saw the labels, all the paper, and my little foil machine sitting there, and I just couldn't help myself. So I was up to the wee hours of the morning. And if you're wondering why some of those stickers are printed on both sides, that's because it was early in the morning and I flubbed. Yes, I printed on the wrong side and had to do that whole label sheet all over again. But luckily it's an inkjet printer, so it's not too expensive on the, it's a laserjet printer, so it's not too expensive on the pocketbook, at least when it comes to the ink. And I just find this the cheapest alternative to having them specially printed, which I still want to do, but at this point, these labels are great. They work awesome. I buy my sticker sheets from Online Label, and it's just a whole sheet. I make almost all of my labels out of full sheets, and I cut them down by hand with that guillotine cutter, and I've had no problem. It's just time consuming, and I am a one-woman show for now. So this is how everything turned out. You'll see my blue spruce and the little gold foil leaf in the little wax melts, and I think that looked just so adorable. I need to do some more little effects inside my wax melts, either in the tarts as well as the clamshells. And let's see, some of them I did overpour, I could tell, because they were flattening out and coming up past the lips. So I'm going, oh man, these ones look like they poured pretty well. A few little dips, but not a problem. I did see some larger issues in a few of this set of clamshells where the oil settled. And you'll see in a moment or two where I flip them over to check them, and there's oil at the bottom of some of the cubes. So obviously I won't be able to use those, and I really, really hate to just sit there and keep mixing and mixing and mixing, and hence I had the problem where you could see the oil at the bottom. And there it is. See it all a lot better? Anyways, I will be melting those down and trying to re-solidify them, and possibly I'll be using those for samples instead of selling them. But that is my vanilla cream. I actually call it vanilla cream instead of Very Vanilla from Candle Science. And they smell beautiful. I actually love the wax that I use. I mix it specially from 4625, which is a paraffin, and let's see what else. 464 Golden Brand Soy. You're going to have to excuse my dog. He's just barking at everything that he hears outside lately. There's a lot of foot traffic near my house, and I am, once again, doing this late in the evening, or I should say in the middle of the night, not late in the evening. But, like I said, I love my labels. They're simple, they're professional, and I do it all by hand. If something comes up a little wonky, I always print out a label or two extra so that I can replace it. And let's see, I didn't have a problem replacing that one there. But I'm going to go ahead and test out those few wax melts that did not happen to solidify correctly. See how those go, because thinking twice about it, that whole batch might be a little wonky, since two of those clamshells ended up with oil at the bottom of them. So I'm going to go ahead and melt those down, or I'm going to go ahead and test out those wax melts and see if they're even fit to be sold. If they're not as strong as what I'm used to, then it's going to be a melt and repour, and probably use as samples. Vanilla cream. Super nice. I really do like my labels. And this is how I make my labels for the wax snap bars. Really, it's just plain old printer paper. It's a beautiful little pastel blue. And I actually got this idea from Eden's Secret, from Karen from Eden's Secret. She gives out all kinds of great tips and tricks. She gives out measurements for all the stuff that she uses, where you can buy them, the links. And, you know, I'm here in the United States and she's based in the UK, so not everything is cost efficient when it comes to buying from the UK, but I was able to find comparable things here and, you know, do it very cost efficiently, at least for me, and able to pass that on to my customers. So again, it's just plain old printer paper. I didn't use sticker paper like she does. What I did was just make the design on Avery. I printed it out with my LaserJet printer. And here you're seeing my mink gold foiling. I'm trying to show you there, but the camera's still a little bit blurry. And it's called Heidi Swap, I believe. But it works with a mink laminating machine. Comes in rolls just like that. Showing you what it looks like, and I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how it's supposed, well, how I interpret the directions to be done. And that's just a quick little look at what it's going to look like when I finish. Now, the reason why I cut the labels down instead of just putting the sheets, the full sheet in there, is because it actually saves me a whole lot more foil, and I get more out of my foil roll when I cut the labels down already. Before I was putting the full sheet and it was only four labels per sheet. Now I was wasting a whole lot of that gold foil, and it's pretty pricey. I mean, even though the roll I get for a little over $10 on Amazon, it's still kind of pricey to be going through that whole roll of foil just for 9 snap bars. I actually saved more than half of that now, so I just go ahead and cut down the labels, and I'm able to fit 6 on there. I forgot I was putting them down. I was putting them down the wrong way. Thank goodness this video, I was able to edit it down. Instead of being a whole 40, 45, 50 minutes, it's only 21 minutes, so bear with me. I was actually trying to figure out how to fast forward this part in the video so that you can just get the gist of it and be done with it, but I couldn't figure it out. Eventually I'll get the editing done right, and you guys will benefit from it more. You won't have to go through the whole mundane thing for as long as it takes me to do everything. Now, it comes with that laminating pouch folder, and that's pretty much just to, it's heat safe, it locks everything in, keeps it from moving, and it laminates the gold to the laser ink. This only works with toner from a laser jet printer. That's my mink machine. I always put it up to 3. And the number 2 setting works okay, but I notice I end up with some pieces that don't stick very well, so they'll either flake off while I'm trying to fold the paper around my wax melts, or it just doesn't catch. So 3 is always a good setting for me, and it does take a little while to go through. I really like this mink laminator. I believe I got it on sale for almost $80 on Amazon on a lightning deal, and they could probably run you about $90 to $100, and I saved a good portion, so I was really happy. I was really happy with my buy, and I've been using it ever since. And if you're wondering why there's printing on that, on the pouch, it's because I wasn't paying much attention and I put a sheet of labels inside that pouch upside down, and I didn't realize that the foil was not covering it. And so the toner adhered to the plastic pouch. So yeah, you live and learn. But it doesn't stain any of my gold foil. It doesn't stain any of my labels, so no harm, no loss. And it looks so pretty. I love the way that gold foil sheet comes out. But you really can't use it for anything else. If you do, you'll have little patches missing from your printing, and if that's okay with you, it gives it a nice rustic look and just use it over again. But other than that, you know, my printing is so fine that I really can use it over again. Now, I bought these from clearbags.com. It's a 2.5 by 6 inch pouch. It's a self-sealing pouch. I really like them. They're actually smell proof. So, you know, inside your shipping boxes, it's not going to end up transferring the smell onto all your other products. And it's actually the perfect size to get it in. If I got a smaller pouch, which they don't carry, the 2 1/4. I actually believe they do carry a 2 1/4, and a 2 1/4 would fit that snug. I probably would have a whole lot harder time getting my snap bars in there. So I figured this was a good alternative. Now, I wasn't sure how exactly I wanted to package these. I knew they had to be in plastic so they would baby my wax melts a little bit more. So I did buy another plastic sheet that was just a 7 by 7 squared, and I was testing to see the look of it and how it handled later, and how hard it was to use or easy, how long it took me. And this is a great alternative. I really do like this. It's a whole lot quicker, and it's still pretty clean. It's still pretty clean looking when I write my label on it. Gives a nice snug fit. And like I said, they are pretty much smell proof, or they are smell proof. I still cannot smell through them. So what I ended up doing was cutting a corner. Yeah, I ended up cutting off a corner so that when your customers pick up the bar, they put a corner to their nose, they're able to smell through it. So that's what I ended up doing. You really can't see this one, but you'll notice that I've got a 7 by 7 square sheet of the same type of plastic, and I believe it's polypropylene. Yes, it's polypropylene. I do cut it down lengthwise so that there's not just too much plastic on the back side of my snap bar. All I'm doing is centering it, and I'm folding it over. And like I said, I wasn't quite sure how I would fold this to best give it a clean look, and how easy it would be to fold it. And I'm finding that, you know, all those looks great on the front, it's entirely too time consuming. It does look clean, it does look professional, but not on the back. It's almost like it's too chunky, so I'm not crazy about it, but I don't quite figure it out until the next time I try it. See, that just takes entirely too long. Now, I don't mind putting in the length of time, you know, to get things done and so that they look great. But this is entirely too time consuming for one person to do, and I made something like 13 different fragrances in my wax melts, with maybe a quarter of them being holiday fragrances, and that's a whole lot for me to do. So here I am trying it again. Again, from clear bags, and it's a 7x7 polypropylene sheet. I already cut it down so you guys didn't have to go through that whole thing again. There I am centering it. And although I am using the same, 3 pieces of tape, for whatever reason, this way comes out a whole lot cleaner and less bulky on the back. And to me, it looks more like a candy bar wrapper this way on the back, from what I'm familiar with. I also noticed packaging it this way, it's still smell proof. And that plastic is, I believe, 1.3 mils, and it's thick enough to protect your wax melts, the little ends and the corners and things like that, but it's not too thick to where it's hard to handle at all. See, and I really like the way that looks a whole lot better. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. These I actually bought pretty cheaply from Clear Bags also, and they're the 1.5-inch round little stickies. I bought them others on Amazon, and they just did not stick. They didn't stick well, and everything popped open. I thought I'd try a few of these, since they were nice and cheap. I didn't think I'd lose too much. These actually work a whole lot better. So instead of using tape on the outside, it looks a lot more professional with the little round sticky. And I was able to align my label perfect. I couldn't do that with sticker paper. I don't know, I've got meat hooks for hands. So doing all that delicate work and trying to line things up straight, I've actually got to have a couple shots at it. And doing that with sticker paper would not happen. So that's one of the reasons why I use regular old printer paper. I like to make those corners nice and sharp. And I do print all around that bar, so it's the top, the 2 sides, as well as the bottom. Instructions are back there on the bottom. You'll see the instructions and the care or warning. That one's pretty good. I'm going to leave that. That's still an option. I do like those bags, and they are still an option. But I'm going to rewrap this one. See, now that I've got the gist of it, I want to see exactly how long it would wind up taking me. I was pretty happy with my process this time around. My other packaging was some leftover pouches that I had from an ice cream soap project that I did. They look like creamsicles, little popsicle ice creams, and they were entirely too large. They weren't smell proof, which is good for soap because you want your customers to smell it, but for the wax you kind of want it to be, you do want some of the smell to come out, but not all of it, because since I sell soap and the wax melts and wax tarts and candles, I really don't want the scents to linger on each other, especially since I sell so many different types and designs. I think my next videos are going to be of my soap making projects. I've got a few already editing, and it's a whole long process, especially since I'm still shooting from the hip when it comes to learning how to edit. But I think this packaging process for my wax melt bars, I think I've got that one down. This one's definitely a keeper. all nice and pretty. And just like other people out there, I'm doing everything in my kitchen, everything on my kitchen table, or I should say my mother's kitchen table. And yes, there's plastic on everything because my mom likes her white cloth chairs, and you can see her tablecloths with gold and, I don't know, that crochet on the top. See that I've got printing on all sides of my label. I didn't let any little spot go to waste. To me, that's real estate right there. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos, let me know at the bottom on the comment section of what you'd like to see. Please like, share, and subscribe if you've liked this video. And it's really helpful to me and getting my product out there. Thank you so much. Bye.